Hello and welcome to Cards, the Universe and Everything. My name is Paul. I am the Managing Director at Avid Games, and I don't usually do videos because, as my son tells me, I am a boomer and shouldn't be allowed within 10 feet of a video camera. Today I'm making an exception because I'd like to talk about some card changes that are coming up. I'm going to talk about nerfs and buffs. For those of you who don't know, a nerf is when we make a card weaker and a buff is when we make a card stronger. I want to give a bit of background as to why these changes are necessary. We have a long-term vision for Cards, the Universe and Everything. And as with all visions, the further we look into the future, the more it gets a little blurry. But we know that we want to be around for 10, 15, 20 years. We want to be adding new game modes, mini games, moving on to different platforms, even into different media. To keep CUE growing and going strong, we need to generate revenue. That's not likely to be a surprise to anyone. We also need to not be jerks. And balancing those two things is something that matters to us all here on both a professional and a personal level. So let me talk about our philosophy when it comes to spending in game, and bear in mind that just because we say this is our philosophy, it doesn't mean we always follow it. We believe that players who spend should be able to acquire more options for deck building faster than otherwise. That's not the same as being pay to win, and we don't want to be a pay to win game. Now, we undermine that philosophy when a small number of very hard to acquire cards can have a disproportionate impact on gameplay. Some decks will always be stronger than others. If you've been playing CUE for any amount of time, you've probably already clocked that deck building is just as important, if not more so, than how you play the cards. However, we want players to be able to experiment, and that means making a much wider range of decks viable. I'm not going to say here which cards are going to be nerfed and which are going to be buffed, because that could lead to unfair trading. What I will say is that all of the cards that are going to be nerfed have been the subject of a great number of complaints, typically over a long period of time, from both players that do and don't have the cards. Players that don't have the cards typically feel demoralized or disillusioned when they come up against them in gameplay. And players that do have the cards don't like that feeling that they've got some kind of unfair advantage. So I hope that sets some context. We don't take these changes lightly, but we do think that they are critical for everyone's enjoyment of the game. We know that some players will be unhappy because they think we haven't changed enough, and others because they think we've changed too much. What's almost certain is that no one will think we've got it just right. That's how it goes. There is no right answer. Overall, we think most of you will agree with the direction we're taking, and that's as much as we hope for right now. As always, thank you so much for playing CUE and for all your help in making it better. We never want that to stop. We love what we do, we love the game, we love being part of this community, and we really want to do right by it. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for listening and keep it CUE.